Welcome back, everyone. So we have almost finished the project, and the only thing that is remaining is this person image and the plants image. And something that you might wonder, you think, wait, we haven't still changed this password, because yes, I type something inside this, but when I click on this and click on this, nothing happens. Well, this part we need to do that with JavaScript. With HTML and CSS, we can't do that. So this actions and interactions in our web document is always done, is something that done with JavaScript. In fact, whenever that we want to react to an action by user, we use JavaScript. For example, the action of the user is clicking on this icon, and the reaction of us is actually to change this input from this input that is the type is on password. We need to change the type of the input from password to text. So because if we actually do that, we change that, the content that we wrote inside that is now visible, right? So this is something that we need to do with JavaScript. I'm gonna cover that, but you feel free to watch that or skip that session. In fact, maybe in next session or in next two sessions, I'm gonna use JavaScript to actually complete this password tool that we have. But because since this is HTML and CSS course, feel free to skip that session if you want to. Learning that is not required. So let's finish the last thing that we have here. And before we go on, I want to we have given a lot of padding to this thing that we have here. So let's see here for ourselves. Let's hit inspect, and we can see to our body we have given a lot of padding, and the padding is very much. So get back to the body that we have. The padding, I want to change it to from 100 to 60 pixels. Okay, let's see what happens. Hit refresh, and I think this is much better compared to what we had. So, and now it's time for us to actually change that, and I believe that our let's increase actually this to 80 pixels. I think the 80 pixels is better for this, and let's make it 120. Actually, this should be more compared to that one. Yes, I think it's better. Yeah, I think it's better. So now I think the blue area should become a little bit bigger, the blue area that we have. So let's search for blue area. The blue area has a 25% width. We need to actually increase that to 33%. Hit refresh, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's better now. So first of all, we need to use img tag in order to include these two images. So let's go inside our blue area, and we are going to attach two imgs. The first one, so go ahead inside images folder, images folder, and we are going to attach the person.svg, and the alt is person, and let's duplicate this, and plants.svg, and the alt is plants. Okay, so we have included two images here. Let's refresh, and as you can see, the two images are visible here. And so we are going to use positions and to fix this. So the blue area, again, we are going to use the combination of position relative and absolute. So the blue area that we have, I'm going to assign a position of relative to this. So let's get back to this. The blue area and let's give two classes to this. I'm going to double click on this, hold Alt, double click, Control C, Control right, and give it a class, Control V, and Control S to save that, and hit get back to this, to blue area. We have a person, and also we have a plants, and also yes, plants and person, and also let's copy this img. The both imgs, I want both imgs to have a position absolute, so position absolute, and the person, so what, look, let's take a look. The person should have a bottom 0, and let's give it a left 0 for the moment, and the plant should be bottom, for example, 20 pixels, bottom 20 pixels, and give it a right, for example, right 50 pixels for now, for the moment. Let's hit refresh, and we have been a little bit better. So let's hit inspect, and in our inspect section, this is our image, and this is our person, which has a left 0. So let's use negative value, negative 100 pixels, and this is again our image. The image that is being used here has so many white space around it, so that's why. So see, when I hover this image, you can see that the image is very bigger compared to the person that there is. It has so many extra space around it, within the image itself. So I'm gonna use another thing, negative 200 pixels, negative 250 pixels, and hit enter. Let's see. I think it needs to come a little bit to righter, so I'm gonna use 225, negative 225, negative 225 pixels. So come back, hit refresh. 233. Let's go with 233. Sorry, not Control R there. So I think it's better now. So now we need to get the plants closer to the person. So let's use this lift exactly for this as well, and see what happens. Hit refresh. Ooh, it was too much. And also it needs to come a little bit higher. So let's get back to this and use that 50 and make that 150. So we are actually changing some values to find out the correct number for this. So let's use, oh, the difference is now this plant's image has maybe this plant's image does not have so many extra space around it. Yes, that's the difference. See, that's the difference. So let's actually go inside our images and inside our person.svg that we have. So the width is we can customize these things that we have here, but let's not mess around with this SVG that we have here. So let's actually, again, from left, you are going to have 150 pixels space. Hit refresh again. I think it's a little better, but 150 is too much. 125. Hit refresh, and 125, and I think this is okay. But there's a problem now. See, in this image the person is in front of the plants, but here the plants is in front of the person. In fact, for this, there's a CSS property called z-index, or sorry, z-index. The z-index is actually used for these circumstances. If something has a bigger z-index, that would come in front. So the default value of z-index is 1 actually for everything. But if we can customize this, the person, we give it a z-index of 2. So z-index 2, let's go again, hit refresh, and now the person is in front of the plants that we have. So the plants should go a bit higher, I believe 60. Let's come back here. 60, I think 60 is good, and needs to have a little more space from left, right? So the left should be increased, I believe 130 pixels. Hit refresh, and now I think this is what we wanted. I think this is great, and we have the final result that we wanted. Now, since our screen is bigger, this is what is being shown, but in fact in smaller screen, let's see for ourselves, this two become a little bit bigger. So actually this web page that we have designed is not responsive. What does responsive mean? Well, responsive is actually is that if we change the change the width and height of the screen, we should still get a decent page. Well, in this case, we don't give. As you can see, in smaller screens, our code is just messed up. It's because we haven't put time and effort for this to make it responsive. But in a real world project, we need to have it responsive. This is a real world project, and we will make it responsive. But since that we are not familiar with responsive design and the concepts of responsive design, for now we don't touch it, and this is good for now, but we will come back to this and make it responsive. So if anyone opens this with a mobile device or a tablet or anything, we still have a decent display. So this is it. This is what we designed, and this is it. Yes. And we do not have a sum up section because the only thing that the new thing that we learned was actually z-index. And this is it. And usually I say hope to see you in next session, but watching next session is not required, because I'm going to talk about JavaScript and actually how to use JavaScript to do this stuff. But feel free to watch it, and if you don't want to watch it, just go to the next season. So I don't know, I hope to see you in next session, or maybe see you in next season. So this is it.